Whatever happened to your favorite childhood YouTubers, man? I'm talking YouTubers where you couldn't wait to get home to watch their new videos. I'm talking YouTubers where you quoted all their catchphrases. YouTubers that had you watching on a daily basis, man. That's what we're about to dive into today, man. So without further ado, let's get into it.
This guy isn't subscribed to me on YouTube.
Timothy De La Ghetto, man. Somebody I ain't had no business watching as a kid, dear Lord. Popping off on YouTube all the way back in 2006, Tim goes down as one of YouTube's founding fathers, posting rants, raunchy skits, answering fans' questions with Dear De La Ghetto, eventually doing vlogs, music. He was out here doing it all, man. Hey, if you used to watch Tim back in the day, tell me in the comments which part of his content was your favorite. Me personally, I used to binge watch his vlogs, man. Tim has uploaded so many YouTube classics throughout the years, like Acting Black, Call Me Maybe parody, Hey Selena, Chunk Dirty, If I Were a Girl, What Men Think vs. Women. And with these classics, he managed to rack up over 4 million subscribers. And eventually expanded outside of YouTube, hopping on Wild 'N Out, and just overall becoming an MTV regular. And listen, if it wasn't for Tim, there'd be no Childish Nature. Growing up and watching Tim's videos was one of the biggest inspirations for me being a YouTuber, man. From making my first few YouTube videos back in 2014, yes, I've been at this for 10 years, to writing on my 6th grade assignment that I want to be a big YouTuber like Timothy De La Ghetto, man. This dude was a huge inspiration for me to be doing what I'm doing right now. And although I haven't watched a video of his since like 2018, it's still nothing but love over here, man. So what is Tim up to now? Well, since the old days, he's become a husband, marrying his longtime girlfriend Chia. On top of that, he got not 1, but 2 kids. He still uploads weekly vlogs to this day. Started 2 podcasts, the main one being No Chaser, the second one being Dudes with the Foods. He retired from Wild 'N Out, and not too long after that, retired the name De La Ghetto, now going by his real last name. From somebody who grew up on this dude, it's nice to see him still around, still doing his thing, being a family man. It's dope. The evolution is dope. Shout out Tim, and let's get to the next YouTuber.
I hope you're not snitching.
I do not exaggerate when I say that Dashi XP was every 2000s kid favorite YouTuber at one point, man. His character and energy may have been annoying to parents, but it was perfect for our generation, man. When it came to comedy sketches, Dashi was that dude, man. We had Freddy vs. Jason, Sir Please, Ghetto Chef, Dominican Dad, RIP Moments, The Takeover, Bop It, the cartoon parodies, and the skit that got me into Dashi, Unwanted Guests. I can still remember when my cousin came over and put this skit on, man. We was dying laughing. And of course you cannot forget his Mortal Kombat series, man. His best series to date in my opinion. And later down the line, when bro switched to gaming, we followed him right over to that second channel and joined series like Happy Wheels, GTA 5, Mario Kart 8, his Scary Sundays. Bro, just mentioning this stuff is bringing back so much nostalgia, man. Shout out Dashi for carrying me through my tween years, man. Now, of course, with 14 years and millions of subscribers and views later, what is Dashi up to now? Nowadays, you can primarily catch Dashi on his gaming channel, which is basically his main channel at this point. But that's not to say he abandoned the original main channel, because he still uploads skits every now and then. Every now and then being once a year, but you know what I'm saying? And I know y'all see it in his face. Dude lost crazy weight, man. A medical scare, a fatter on his liver, got him to completely change his life around. He been in the gym ever since, and it's great to see, man. Dashi's still here, thugging it out, no controversies, no scandals, just games and vibes. Love to see it, because the next YouTuber ain't so lucky on that half.
What's happening for him? A dude getting his ass whipped by his own skateboard. That's what's happening.
From making videos in his college dorm room to becoming the biggest YouTuber of his time, man. Ray William Johnson's Equals 3 was inescapable on YouTube back in the day. And being the most subscribed to person on YouTube, ranking in millions of views a day, you was bound to see at least one episode of Equals 3. Equals 3 being a show where Ray would grab 3 viral videos of the week and do comedic commentary over them. Equals 3 used to be one of my favorite things to watch on YouTube, man. I remember back in 2012 just sitting in my bed, raining hard as ever outside with the after effects of Hurricane Katrina, and I'm just chilling, binge watching Equals 3 on my PS3, vibing. Eventually, the show got big enough to where Ray felt he needed to expand. And that's where Maker Studio comes into play, acting as both a production studio and a third party for Ray to get paid through the YouTube Partner Program. And this is when things would go downhill for bro. Let me explain. So back in the day, YouTube only had a select few YouTubers who they paid directly. Anybody else who wanted to get paid had to get connected to a multi-channel network, aka the third party. Now these third parties would collect your check from YouTube, take a split, and hand the rest to you. And a split is where the problem comes in, because it could range from 0% all the way up to 70%. And sometimes they won't even pay you at all. They keep all that money. Now I experienced this personally back in the day. Like I said, 10 years. I had videos with thousands of views back in the day. My MCN gonna send me back 4 cents, bro. 4. I was wrong. And they tried to do the same thing with Ray's money. Now they gave him what they promised on the production side, but with the money, they tried to take 40 to 50% of his cut. And let's keep in mind, YouTube already takes part of your paycheck. Now Ray was not agreeing with the situation, so as a result, Maker Studios withheld his money entirely and also locked him out the studio. Crazy. So for Ray, it was back to square one. He was not gonna let this little hiccup with Maker Studios mess up his career. So he went back to recording in his apartment, eventually getting his AdSense back and creating his own studio, Equals 3 Studios, where he would have not just Equals 3, but a bunch of other shows like Top 6, Comedians On, Sketch Comedies. Equals 3 was back on top until he left. Yep, he left behind Equals 3 back in 2014 and it hasn't looked back since. Now he tried replacing himself with other hosts, but they just could not connect to the audience the same way he could. Till eventually Equals 3 shut down, and not long after, the whole channel stopped production, and Ray William Johnson was gone from the internet. So that leads me to the question that everybody wants to know. What is Ray doing now? Now since the cancellation of Equals 3 Studios, Ray has made his way back to the internet. These days, you can mainly find him on TikTok, where he's amassed a whopping 14 million followers, getting millions of views on every post. And instead of being Ray, the Equals 3 guy, he is now Ray, the storyteller, telling crazy stories of people who committed wild crimes. Bro did a complete 360 rebrand and still managed to pull a massive audience. If that don't tell you people mess with you, I don't know what do. That being said, it was dope to revisit early 2010s nostalgia on the YouTube side. Now if you want some more 2010s nostalgia, why don't you go ahead and check out the 2010s tween era video, where I get into all of the tween pop stars of the early 2010s.